Our next guest, Trey Mancini, is a former Notre Dame first baseman, was a 2011 Big East Rookie of the Year. Trey was selected by the Baltimore Orioles in the 23rd pick in the 8th round of the 2013 MLB first-year player draft. Earlier this season, he became only the third player since 1913 to hit 7 home runs in his first 12 games. Joining us right now is Trey Mancini. I saw Trey about 3-4 days ago beat up on my hometown Cincinnati Reds. Trey, welcome to Notre Dame Day. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing very good. So I guess before we get into your professional career, talk about one of your biggest memories of being here at Notre Dame.
Oh man, so many to choose from. Just part of the program here and making my best in life through that is just something I can describe. And it really helped hold me where I am today.
And Trey, I wanted you to describe for us too the transition from playing baseball in college to then the minor leagues and then to the major leagues. What's that transition like? What's the hardest thing to go from the one level to the next?
It's a big transition because when you're in college, you play pretty weekends, one day, you get into you're playing every single day. You're on a bus to some kind of obscure towns throughout the country, and you just got to get used to every day, being in different environments and situations, and it's tough. And then the majors, I'd say the biggest adjustment is obviously the pitchers have a much better idea of what they're doing every level you go up, and then playing in front of 40,000 people rather than 4,000 people a night is an adjustment, but it's definitely a thrill.
Trey, how old were you? What was the first memory you have when you said, I want to be a professional baseball player?
I was 4 years old when I started playing and never looked back. My mom signed me up for T-ball. I still remember to this day. She came back to my house and had a shirt for me that said, it was like a Little League shirt. She said she signed me up for baseball. And I said, cool, that sounds good to me. I'll give it a try, and fell in love with it immediately. And all of a sudden became obsessed with watching baseball and watching Major League Baseball. So it's a dream come true.
Now, you have a record with the Orioles this season, 7 home runs in 12 games. How does that feel?
Yeah, it's pretty surreal. It's I try not to think too much about it or get too confident, I guess, because baseball has a way of humbling you. It's a tough game, but to leave my mark in some way like that and to set a record is something I could have never imagined.
Now, you're on a team, obviously your team is very good, the Baltimore Orioles. You're with Adam Jones, Manny Machado. What's it like being with those guys?
Oh, it's amazing. My mom actually grew up about 20 minutes from Baltimore, and I grew up going to games here at Camden Yards. So it's, if there was one team when I was a kid that I wanted to be on, it was actually the Orioles. So that in itself was a dream come true. And when I was in high school and college, I remember watching these guys play on the Orioles. So it's pretty crazy to be on the same team as them right now.
Now, Trey, everyone who knows anything about baseball knows the MLB season is an absolute grind, 162 games. Just talk a little bit about what you have to do. How do you prepare your body? How do you keep your body in shape, your mind in shape for that rigorous schedule?
Yeah, that's a good point about the mind. I think that's the most important part of staying mentally strong, because you're going to have so many days where you're not feeling great for whatever reason, and just keeping a consistent mindset every day is the biggest key to success in baseball. But from a physical standpoint, there's pretty much no off season. Once our season's over, you got to keep your body in shape, keep working out, keep stretching every day, doing whatever you need to do to be able to perform, and staying on top of that and being aware of your body is extremely important when you play that many games a year.
Now, when you do get that brief little bit of free time after the season ends, what do you like to do?
I lay low for a couple of weeks, just kind of enjoy not really doing anything too much, and then I get back into a workout routine and get ready for the next year. But I do take some trips here and there, see a lot of my friends that I played with at Notre Dame. They're kind of all across the country in New York, Chicago, Los Angeles. So I like to travel a little bit too, but it's usually you don't have too much time of full rest, I'd say.
Well, very cool. Well, Trey, fantastic stuff. Thanks for joining us here today. Best of luck, except for if you play my Cincinnati Reds again. We'll talk soon.